"You're not our father," my daughter snapped over breakfast. "We love Donovan," the youngest son added. I stood there holding the pancakes I'd just made, wondering who the hell Donovan was. My wife wouldn't look at me, just kept scrolling her phone like I'd already disappeared. This was supposed to be a normal Saturday morning. I'd woken up early to make their favorite blueberry pancakes, the ones with the little chocolate chips mixed in that I'd been making every weekend for 8 years. My daughter was 13, my son was 10, and they were looking at me like I was a stranger who'd wandered into their kitchen. Turned out Donovan was my wife's boyfriend from high school. Been around for 3 years while I worked 60-hour weeks at the firm to pay for their private school tuition that ran me $42,000 a year. My wife finally looked up from her phone and said, "You're just extra. We needed your income, not you." She said it so casually, like she was explaining why we bought generic cereal instead of the brand name. I asked what she meant, and my son, the kid I taught to ride a bike last summer, said, "Donovan takes us to the park on Saturdays. The good park with the zip line, not the boring one you go to." My daughter added, "Yeah, and he actually knows our teachers' names and comes to our school events. You're always working." I'd missed exactly 2 school events in 8 years, both because of emergency client meetings that I'd apologized for 100 times. My wife stood up and started clearing plates that no one had touched. "Donovan's been staying here when you travel for work. The kids prefer him anyway. He actually listens when they talk." I went upstairs and started packing. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely zip my suitcase. The kids didn't even ask where I was going. They were already on the couch FaceTiming Donovan, showing him the new PlayStation I'd bought them 2 weeks ago for early Christmas. Cost me $600, and I'd driven to 3 different stores to find it in stock. That's when my wife followed me upstairs and dropped the real bomb. "I cheated on you the day we got married, in the bathroom during cocktail hour." She said it while folding laundry, like it was a fun wedding story she forgot to mention. "Your brother walked in on us, but I paid him $2,000 to keep quiet." She laughed, actually laughed, and said, "He bought a motorcycle with it." I asked why she even married me then. She shrugged. "You had the stable job, the good insurance. My parents liked you. Donovan was broke back then, living with his mom. It was just practical." I'd spent $18,000 on that wedding, another 12 on the honeymoon to Italy that she said was the best week of her life. I moved into a hotel that night, one of those extended stay places that smell like commercial cleaner and broken marriages. Cost me $90 a night, but it was all I could afford on short notice. Filed for divorce the next morning. My lawyer said it was the most clear-cut fraud case he'd seen in 15 years. We had her confession on my phone recording. I'd started taping once she mentioned the wedding day. He said we'd go for annulment based on fraud. I could get out clean. No alimony, no child support, nothing. I asked about the kids. He got quiet and said, "You might want to get a paternity test." That thought hadn't even crossed my mind. But suddenly I remembered how my daughter had my wife's nose, my wife's eyes, my wife's everything, and nothing of me. My son, too. The test came back 3 weeks later. Neither of them were mine. Donovan was their biological father, and apparently everyone knew. My wife, her parents, probably my own brother who took that $2,000 bribe. I was just the wallet, the stable income, the guy who paid for everything while they played house. My lawyer filed the paperwork. I signed away all rights. No more child support, no more college funds, no more anything. It felt like cutting off my own arm. But what was I supposed to do? Keep paying for someone else's family? Then 4 months went by. I'd started to feel normal again. Got my own apartment, started going to the gym, stopped checking my phone every 5 minutes hoping the kids would text. They never did. Then one random Tuesday, my phone exploded. 25 missed calls from my oldest daughter, all in the span of an hour. One voicemail. One text that said, "Dad, call me back right now." When I finally called, she was crying. Couldn't even get full sentences out at first. She said they kicked Donovan out last week after he drained Mom's bank account. Took everything. $68,000 from savings, another 40 on credit cards he'd opened in her name. Turned out he had 3 other families in different states. Same setup every time. Find a woman with money, play dad to her kids, clean her out, disappear. Cops found him in Nevada with wife number 4. My daughter kept crying, saying she was sorry, that they didn't know he was like that. That mom was a mess and couldn't pay the mortgage, and the school was threatening to kick them out for unpaid tuition. Then she got quiet and asked if I'd come to her birthday dinner next week. Said she really wanted me there, that she missed me, that maybe we could talk. I sat there on my couch in my quiet apartment, listening to this kid who'd called another man dad for 3 years, beg me to show up for her 13th birthday. I told her I'd think about it, and I hung up.